Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's both fascinating and a little bit sad: abandoned cars. Specifically, we're looking at 10 incredible cars, some of the most desirable vehicles ever made, that were left to rot. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. We're talking about cars from legendary brands like Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Bugatti, left to face the elements. It's hard to imagine someone abandoning such automotive treasures, but as we'll see, the stories behind these abandoned vehicles are often as intriguing as the cars themselves. From a rare Ferrari Dino found in a barn to a Lamborghini Miura lost to time, these stories are a reminder that even the most coveted possessions can be forgotten. So buckle up and get ready to explore the world of abandoned automotive treasures. Our first abandoned car takes us to rural France, where a 1972 Ferrari Dino 246 GT was discovered after decades of neglect. The Dino 246 GT was Ferrari's attempt to create a more affordable entry-level sports car, and it quickly became a legend in its own right. This particular Dino, however, didn't see much driving in its later years. It was left parked in a barn, covered in dust and forgotten, for nearly 4 decades. Despite its condition, the Dino caused quite a stir in the automotive world. The car was eventually sold at auction, its new owner undoubtedly eager to return this sleeping beauty to its former glory. Next we travel to Italy, the home of Lamborghini, where a sorry sight awaited car enthusiasts. In a dusty garage, hidden from view for years, sat a Lamborghini Miura, one of the most iconic supercars ever produced. This particular Miura, a P400S model, was reportedly owned by a wealthy Italian businessman who, for reasons unknown, decided to park it in his garage and never drive it again. Years turned into decades, and the once gleaming Miura became a forgotten relic. News of the abandoned Miura spread quickly, and soon collectors and enthusiasts from around the world were vying for a chance to own it. The car was eventually sold at auction, its new owner facing the daunting but rewarding task of bringing this automotive icon back to life. Our journey into the world of abandoned automotive treasures takes us next to England, where a remarkable discovery was made in a crumbling estate. Hidden away in a dilapidated garage covered in dust and debris, sat a Bugatti Type 57, one of the most exclusive and sought-after automobiles ever created. This particular Type 57, a rare and valuable model, had a history as intriguing as its design. It was originally owned by a prominent British aristocrat who, legend has it, was forced to abandon the car during the tumultuous years of World War II. Decades passed, and the Bugatti was forgotten, left to languish in the decaying garage. The car was carefully extracted from its resting place and entrusted to restoration experts, who will undoubtedly spend countless hours returning it to its former glory. Our next stop takes us to a quiet corner of England, where a forgotten piece of British automotive history was discovered. Tucked away in an overgrown barn, its once sleek lines obscured by dust and cobwebs, sat an Aston Martin DB4. This particular DB4 had been absent from the open road for far too long. It was purchased new by a British businessman who, according to local lore, was a man of mystery and intrigue. It was only when the property was being cleared for development that the car was rediscovered, its once gleaming paintwork now faded and cracked. The car was carefully extracted from its resting place and whisked away to a restoration specialist, where it will undoubtedly receive the care and attention it deserves. Our search for abandoned automotive treasures now takes us across the Atlantic to the United States, where a legendary American sports car was found in a state of disrepair. Hidden away in a dusty garage, its potent V8 engine silenced by time, sat a Shelby Cobra. This particular Cobra had been absent from the asphalt for far too long. It was purchased new by an American racing enthusiast, who used the car extensively on both road and track. It was only when the garage was being cleaned out that the car was rediscovered, its presence a forgotten memory. The car was quickly snapped up by a collector, eager to return this piece of automotive history to its former glory. Our journey continues in the United Kingdom, where a true icon of British automotive design was found in a state of slumber. In a quiet corner of England, hidden away in a dilapidated garage, sat a Jaguar E-Type. This particular E-Type, a Series 1 coupe, had been hidden away for decades, its story shrouded in mystery. Local rumors suggested that the car had been purchased new by a wealthy businessman who, for reasons unknown, decided to park it in the garage and never drive it again. It was only when the property was being cleared for redevelopment that the car was rediscovered, its presence a forgotten memory. The car was carefully extracted from its resting place and whisked away to a restoration specialist, where it will undoubtedly be treated with the care and attention it deserves. Our quest for abandoned automotive treasures now takes us to Germany, the birthplace of Porsche, where a true automotive gem was discovered in a most unexpected location. Tucked away in a dark and dusty corner of an old warehouse, its once gleaming body covered in a thick layer of grime, sat a Porsche 356. This particular 356 had been hidden away from view for decades, its story lost to time. Local rumors suggested that the car had been purchased new by an American serviceman stationed in Germany in the 1950s. He enjoyed the car for a few years, exploring the winding roads of Europe, but when it came time to return home, he decided to leave the car behind. Decades passed, and the car sat undisturbed, its once vibrant paintwork now dulled by time. It was only when the warehouse was being cleared out for demolition that the car was rediscovered, its presence a forgotten chapter in automotive history. The car was carefully extracted from its resting place and whisked away to a restoration specialist, where it will undoubtedly be treated with the reverence it deserves. Our search for abandoned automotive treasures now takes us back to the United States, where a true icon of American automotive design was found, in a state of disrepair. In a forgotten corner of a sprawling junkyard, its once sleek fiberglass body covered in dust and grime, sat a Chevrolet Corvette C1. This particular Corvette had clearly seen better days. Its once vibrant paintwork was now faded and cracked, its chrome trim was pitted and dull, and its interior was showing the inevitable signs of time and neglect. The car's history was a mystery, its story lost to the passage of time. Perhaps it had been owned by a racing enthusiast who pushed it to its limits, or maybe it had simply been loved into a state of disrepair. Whatever its past, the Corvette sat in the junkyard, forgotten and unloved. One day a classic car enthusiast with a keen eye for potential stumbled upon the Corvette. A deal was struck, and the Corvette was rescued from its automotive purgatory. Our journey into the world of abandoned automotive treasures now takes us to the heartland of America, where a true legend of American muscle was found in a state of slumber. In a dimly lit barn, its muscular body covered in a thick layer of dust, sat a Ford Mustang Shelby GT 500. This particular GT 500 had been hidden away from the world for decades, its roaring exhaust notes silenced, its racing stripes faded by time. Local legend had it that the car had been purchased new by a young man who, after a series of close calls and speeding tickets, decided to park the car in the barn and focus on more sedate pursuits. It became a forgotten relic, its presence in the barn known only to a select few. Car enthusiasts and collectors from far and wide descended upon the property, eager to get their hands on this piece of automotive history. Our final stop on this journey into the world of abandoned automotive treasures takes us to a secluded estate in Switzerland, where a true icon of automotive design was found in a state of quiet repose. In a spacious garage, its distinctive gullwing doors closed as if in slumber, sat a Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing. This particular 300 SL had been hidden away from the world for decades, its story shrouded in mystery. Local rumors suggested that the car had been purchased new by a wealthy industrialist who, after enjoying it for a few years, decided to park it in the garage. It became a forgotten treasure, its presence in the garage known only to a select few. The real estate agent, exploring the property, stumbled upon the garage and with a mixture of curiosity and trepidation, opened the door. So there you have it, 10 incredible cars, each with its own unique story, each a reminder that even the most coveted possessions can be lost and forgotten. It's both fascinating and a little bit sad to think about these amazing machines sitting dormant for years, but it's also heartening to know that many of them have been rescued and are being brought back to life. I don't know about you, but I'm already daydreaming about stumbling upon a forgotten Ferrari in some dusty old barn. It's a long shot, but hey, you never know. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more automotive adventures. And be sure to let me know in the comments which of these abandoned cars you'd most like to own. For me, it's a toss-up between the Ferrari Dino and the Lamborghini Miura. Tough choices. Until next time, happy motoring.